Welcome, everybody. You are listening to the Mary and Joe Show. I am going to be doing some very fun things today. Let me go ahead and fix my music. Actually, I'm not going to turn that off. We're going to fix the banner real quick. Everybody, do say hello in the chat if you're just joining. I have a lot set up today. We have to go over. So let me get my fancy background set up. And if you're listening to this lovely track here, this is mine, created many years ago. It's called Midday Fears. And of course, my production name is DJ Raylove. So if you enjoy this music, definitely give it a little Google search or check out in my bio. I will be showcasing more and more of my music daily. So I'm going to turn this down just a little bit. Hopefully you guys are enjoying it, though. We're going to do a quick review today of a nice little strand. Let me bring my overlay up so that you guys know what I'm talking about. So we're going to be doing this great little joint right here. This is Lilac Diesel and Super Lemon Haze that I actually have already smoked. So I'm going to be just doing a review on the strand today. The bottle here, as you can see. Let's see if I can get the... So I marked out the label because some of these labels have IDs and stuff, and that's not necessary. But without further ado, let me go ahead and let me open up this real quick. Let me turn off my music. That would help. How is everybody doing? Let me know in the chat how you're doing. All right, let's get this show on the road. I'm going to switch my banner, and we're going to go ahead and start the podcast. I'm going to roll my fabulous intro. Here we go.
The Mary and Joe Show. It's exactly what it sounds like. Basically sharing a bit of the canna lifestyle with the coffee talk. You'll hear interviews, reviews on products, a bit of my own personal life experiences, and sharing on YouTube for over 10 years now, being active on the internet with my own chronic illnesses, and many interviews in the future, along with a dose of a normalcy. We are a community around the world, and I bring you this podcast to give you a normal place to enjoy your Mary and your Joe.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mary and Joe Show. I am your host, Miss Chronic Chronicles. Today, I am seeing some problems with my my Twitch. I'm sorry about that, Twitch. Hopefully, you'll be able to view the video on YouTube instead. Either way, I do appreciate you all joining me today. Today, we are going to go and dive into laws about Colorado cannabis. We're going to talk about particular stores. We're going to talk about genetics. I was going to throw myself into some other political stuff that's going on right now regarding to the stimulus, but I'm going to wait until my next podcast or a pop-up that I do later today. Sorry about that. Let me turn my notifications off. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and pull up. Where did I get this from? So there is a Glenwood store. I want to pull up the parachute location. Here we go. All right. So what are we looking at? This is the fabulous The Green Joint. Let me show you guys a little bit in the beautiful mountain scene that I always show off. Now, I believe it used to be like a little restaurant, and then they converted it into, I think it was like a little steakhouse, and they converted it into a recreational shop. So it's a little log cabin. It's in the original historic area of Parachute, Colorado. So historic, one of the first buildings when you get into the town. The inside is very similar to Bud's, I'd say, that they have like massive one-on-one personnel. It's not about flash. Like I'd say in comparison so far, what I've shown you guys, the Kind Castle and Tumbleweeds are about flash. The green joint, their prices are extremely high though, because everything is grown in-house and it's premium bud. So with that being said, let's take a look. They have like this copper flame that goes on outside. They have old school, like the jar system. It's not overly done with canisters. I think the building is very strangely constructed. I'll say that. It's like lots of add-ons. But when it comes to how it's like quality, it's a beautiful building from the ambiance on the outside. I don't think it looks bad at all. The parking lot is huge. So if you got like an RV or something and you're traveling, this is the place to park. I'd say to next to Bud's, maybe in the back. But um, like I said, they are in historic Parachute, Colorado. They're one of the first stores that came into town. And it was tumbleweeds in the green joint. And I would spend tons of money at the green joint for strand specific medicine. And then it got to the point where I was happy there were other stores popping up. So it basically, I went from green joint, and I used to, let me actually blow up the actual store that I used to go to, because I used to drive an hour away to go to get their flour because it was so good. So this is the Glenwood location. The Glenwood location's and converted Victorian home, as you can see. The bottom layer of the bottom floor of the I think there's a basement too, but let's say the ground floor is where all of your medicinal is, and all your recreational is upstairs. So they separated it, medicinal and recreational, in one building. I think that's pretty awesome. Like I said, they are your local farmer, meaning that everything is not shipped in. It's grown on location, I believe. I think that's why they use the basement. That's probably what, that makes sense. Like it's a Victorian home growing in the basement. Why wouldn't it let me open that? Come on. All right. Well, we're gonna have to do this. Okay. So, let me show you guys. Here are their locations. They have one in Grand Junction, I think. Oh, this isn't Grand Junction, but 30 minutes from Grand Junction. We're technically 45. You're going to really speed, though. You can get it for 30. Um, like I said, it's a historic Victorian house, which houses both a medical and recreational dispensary. We are proudly serving the community with locally grown medical marijuana since 2009. Absolutely love the Roaring Fork Valley. Open daily, 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. And our locations, I guess, we're open a little bit later here. And then they have an Aspen location. So obviously, I'm sure strand specific and whatnot, I'm sure they have the ones that they keep on tap everywhere. But from what I know, I only know these two locations right here. So, and I haven't purchased from the Glenwood location in probably 5 years. But the Parachute location, it's really comes to if they don't have products that I'm looking for, then I'll go to another store. But normally, I didn't know that they're so well stocked on their edibles. They're quite well. So let's go back to the Parachute location, and we're going to go. I want to order from Parachute. I'm not going to order, but we're going to show you the different things that you can do. Oh, they have a rifle rec med. Nice. Are they opening another location? They might be. So the fact that they have licensing for medical and recreational is quite intense. I love that. That means they're providing for everyone. Um, so let's go ahead and let's just look through their menu and see what they've got here, just to kind of get an idea. So their candy bars are 18. It looks like some of them 25. See, this is what I'm more. This is a cartridge though. Okay, so those are some gummies, cartridges. 25 is pretty standard for a cartridge. I mean, I've paid up to like $88 for a cartridge back in the day. So nowadays they went down to pretty reasonable prices. But there are certain brands that just you expect to pay more money for, like Willie's. Medicinals, I believe, are a little bit pricier because of the premium strand specific. Then we have Blue Dream. They're always carrying Blue Dream. Blueberry Head, Kimberly. Let's see, Durban Kush. Their pre-rolls, live rosin. So there you go. One joint, $25. Let me tell you guys, When I went to Amsterdam and I smoked a pre-roll there, it was a pre-rolled Kush, and it was 20 euros. That's ridiculous. I remember back in the day being like, oh my God, that's like, because 20 euros, it's double in price. So it would be like, if I'm correct, hold on. Is it 40 euros? That was what it was. 40 euros. So it was $20 in American money for one joint. So, and that was just a regular joint. And that was 2009 when I went to Amsterdam. So what would this mean? What would you be getting? Let's see if they'll tell us. Being fully present and easy with our premium pre-roll joints that blend classic cannabis flower with luxury Lux Live rosin. Let's see. Quality ingredients that are you hear me? I'm like mouth watering here. I gotta smoke my blunt. Let me light this up. It's not a blunt, it's a joint. But yeah, I'm reading about joints and I'm wanting to smoke. You hear that? It's real. Okay. So, let's see here. Quality ingredients that are worth savoring, like a memorable meal or a long conversation with a good friend. Our single joint indica contains 1 gram of premium live resin infused cannabis, plenty to enjoy on your own or puff pass with your favorite people. That's funny they even allowed that because it's by person. I mean, yeah, you can share with us of age adults, but I'm even surprised they marketed that way. It's interesting. I would expect them to be like, buy one for your friend too. Light it up, savor, solo, puff pass to a friend. Okay, so, and I think it's important to talk about the marketing aspect because this is medicine that is now trendy. Has been marketed now for different age brackets. Okay, what's the nugget? I'm wondering about this. April 19th. We are setting up success for 420 amazing specials. So yeah, I guess they have like little tiny pop-ups. Number 1, 8 in a row. How awesome. I'm very proud of them for that. Let's see. This is 21. I know that tumbleweeds and buds have been like hand in hand. Our town just has the best tax bracket for cannabis, so you don't pay too much and you still get really good products. So, okay, let's go over, hold on a second, about us. And this is just the general actual website, so it's not going to be location specific, it looks like. Let's watch this and see. You really need to play the music though, sir. Let's go with it. Come on. Come on, come on. The green joint. I love it. Okay. Great logo. Let's keep going. There you go. There you go. Basement growing. I think that's a pretty good point to stop right here. So yeah, you meet like the focal point when you come into the building. There's like a little stand to the side that shows you where you check in. But this is kind of where you go and you sign out. I'm going to say that this store reminds me of Denver stores. Like Bud's is a lot more your bro shop, I'd put it like that, like a stoner atmosphere. But this one in general, because of their price points, really does remind me of Denver. Denver, not medicinal, but recreational shops.
Welcome, and thank you for visiting the Green Joint. You've got great taste, as you're standing in an award-winning gold medal cannabis store. Everything we do is meticulously aligned with our core objective of delivering the finest quality cannabis. Every nug we sell represents our brand, and we take great pride in that fact. We want our customers to feel confident that their favorite Green Joint strain will deliver consistent results every single time. By crafting each plant's life from seed to sale, we've maintained our buds' integrity, as evidenced by being voted as the local's choice favorite year over year, again and again. We are also especially proud to be voted by Leafly as one of the top 10 dispensaries in the state of Colorado.
Now I want to stop there because I really feel like you guys need to take it in. These are people that took a house and they made it for access. Now, Glenwood Springs has other locations. Yes, they have other dispensaries, other medicinal shops, but to have it all in one place in a beautiful community, not awkward, not I don't know what the right word is, not it's not a stuffy environment. Do you know how many shops I've been to in California where the environment was completely thug life? I don't know how else to put it. Like, this is where I don't think your grandma, who has a little bit of arthritis, has a problem walking into a shop without getting her medical card. It's just a great experience. Um, it doesn't feel like they're trying to take your money. They do work with you on deals. But when it comes to actually knowing what you're paying for, that you're paying for premium. You are going to pay for premium. They won't even, if the bud isn't pretty, they're not going to sell it. That's just how this shop is. The Green Joint, I mean, the kind of people that go there are the people that have oil income, oil industry, um, our construction, families, like the actual family, not construction, but that is kind of the demographic of the family. Now, of course, oil industry employees cannot smoke. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's that kind of money, though. That kind of money. You almost like price points, they're a little high, I'll say. And the buds, yes, they're great. I'm not talking shit, but it's extremely hard to not want to smoke at all because the terpenes are so rich. So it's not like it's premium. I'll say it. Like, just like I keep saying, Denver dispensaries go for the wow factor. And the medicine that they put out, they want high ass percentages. They consider lower percentages under like 15 trash. So, and that's saying something. The two joints that I'm going to be talking about in a moment, one is, let's see this percentage here. Hang on. They folded it over like to the point I can't see. Is that 28? So my lilac diesel is at 28% and my super lemon haze is reaching 25%. So yeah, so these two, let me pick that lighter up. Oh, these two joints that I got, because actually what had happened was my birthday joint, yeah, I could get one. I think it was like one and the other was half off or something like that. You get one, I don't even know. Like if you get a second, it's half off. I'm not sure how it worked. I didn't receive, I mean, I have the receipt, but I haven't posted all those yet. I'm going to put them on Instagram. So I got to black out some stuff. But I, full transparency, they put the same one in the tube. That's another, come on now, buddy. Do you really have to put it in the same tube? I just spent a lot of money. And I don't come there often. So that was a little downer. I was like, you should be able to put a whole joint, you know. It's a 1 gram joint. That's the other thing. They weigh their joints. It's not just about appearance, it's about weight. It's about quality bud that's in these joints. They're not shake. They're not going to have stems. It's quality. So, and I've smoked lilac diesel a billion times. Let me go ahead and finish this and then we'll get into the genetics.
We are passionate about the quality of our locally grown cannabis. This isn't just a job, it's a lifestyle. We're farmers. We nurture each plant's needs like a parent would. I'm meticulous about what my plants eat, their sleep schedules, and all the small things that make them the finest buds available. I love cannabis, and it's an honor to be leading this award-winning grow team here in Colorado. It feels awesome when customers tell me how much they enjoyed a particular strain, and that's why I take such great care throughout our entire cultivation process. We truly are your local farmer.
So that's another thing. I think for genetics, they are a great place to pick up some seeds. I know they do sell seeds. I don't know all the details, but I'm not going to pull up the website again for that right this second. But As in regards to actually having access local as a medicinal and recreational store, that is where it's at. That's the way all businesses should be run. I think even in Colorado, all of the stores, every single one, including California, including Washington, all the states we're going to talk about today in this podcast, because I have a lot planned here, only 23 minutes in, but boy, have we not even scratched the surface. So keep watching. That music is too much. Yeah, let me tell you, this is the worst part of harvest is getting your plant. I mean, like the growing is so easy, but when it comes to the harvest part, you almost resent that shit after a while. I'll tell you, it's like nice for the first 12 hours. And then you're like, I'm covered in shake. It's everywhere. It's just gonna live in my home. And like he showed, he flips the plants over and then he takes all the sucker leaves off and then he pulls all the buds off. And then he probably puts it, I don't think they hand trim this. I think this was, let me see if I saw that. Is it hand trimmed? Are they hand trimming? They are hand trimming. Ooh, that's nice to know. Okay. Hand trimming or machine trimming is very bad. When you use machine trimming, my God, I have seen it done. I literally cried when I was watching the plants be thrown in. It looks like a wood chipper. I'm not even kidding. And it just pulls all the leaves off. And then you lose a lot of trichomes. And then those same people that do those types of things take those shake that is in the bag, and then they'll throw it through a bubble hash, usually that's how it works, ice bubble hash. And then all your trimmings, all that stuff that got pulled off from the electric, the automatic trimmer, I call it it's insane. It just chews it all up. But anyway, all your trichomes, you lose a lot on the outside if you do it without regular hands, gloves, and scissors. I mean, I think when I was trimming, which I have tons of pictures I'll share with you guys in the future, but when I was trimming, I think it took like 3 weeks. And the curing and all that, oh my God, because sometimes one branch might dry a little quicker than another. And then you can take your lollipops, or sometimes, like I've heard people say, the flavor is much better when you leave it on the whole bush and let it, I've done it all the different ways. And I can say my own personal preference is to hand trim it. Let's see if they are going. Yep, he's hand trimming them. Okay. And then that's also smart. I have used hangers and ether cords. That's what works.
Edibles, topicals, and extracts.
Oh, Rob Hot Shots. Oh my gosh, we got to go back to that. Hold on. This is one of my favorite brands, but like I have talked about in the past, I overdosed big time on it. Like, you got to be careful. Okay, I don't know that one. Where are you, Rob Shots? Is that it? Sympathy. Well, Rob Shots. I'm just saying. All right, let's go back and let's watch this again. Maybe we'll be able to get it.
Edibles, topicals, and extracts.
There we go. Rob Hots. Rob Hots. Okay, you see these? This is the old version. I've not seen all these. These are way old boxes too. But the berries, the kiwi tropical punch one, I don't think I've had this one. I've only had these two. And citrus, I've had apples. So where's that one at? Green apple? Maybe I have had that one. So I had my tonsils removed in 2021 and I was not able to smoke for like a few weeks. It was like 2 months total that I couldn't fully smoke. So I had to get really comfortable with edibles, and these were the strongest I have ever found. I think they did use, yeah, it's THC distillate. That's why I feel like it's so effing strong. Like, you can overdose easy with this because it's a distillate. It's intense. Okay.
Vape cartridges, wax, and shatter, produced from our own garden's hand-trimmed material. We also carry glass, apparel, and accessory items for your convenience. Whether
I feel like their glass shop is pretty great too, compared to, I mean, there's a few of them. I'll just take a day and we'll go look at glass all together, guys. I'll go to all the stores and see what I can do to give you guys a good view of what glass is in my town.
you're an experienced connoisseur or new to cannabis, our staff members will answer all of your questions about our medical and recreational products, as well as make suggestions based on your individual needs.
Wish they cut the music out.
We're a little like a fine wine shop or a classic record store.
That's
Here at the
correct.
Green Joint, we really enjoy connecting with people and want our customers.
And I want to make that very clear. The reason that they are upper scale, they are not going to sell you something that's like low grade. It just doesn't exist in their store. They don't keep it on the shelf. They don't. So, I mean, if you can afford premium prices, I suggest go for the experience. Absolutely go for the experience. Now, there's another shop I will be talking about very soon because I have a joint I have already done that I'll be reviewing from High Q, it's called, and they're also another shop that they actually prepackage all their buds. So yes, you can smell it, but back in COVID days, you could not. So you were just buying the strand per what you knew because everything they've always done has been prepackaged. It's kind of like Safara of cannabis, if you can imagine.
Customers be informed, educated, and feel right at home. While it's fun to learn the differences between indica and sativa, you can also pass helpful knowledge along to others who may be in the need of the benefits that cannabis has to offer. We love what we do and we pride ourselves in being medically focused yet recreationally available.
Amen. That's what I'm talking about. That's why I'm here, guys. That's why Miss Chronic Chronicles does what I do, because it's about educating, it's about sharing knowledge. Listen, guys, I use this as medicine, but you listening might not, and that's okay. That's really okay. For whatever reason you decide to use cannabis, hopefully use it responsibly, but um I use it medically. I literally, it is what helps me eat and function. Period. I have so much evidence of so. This is my focus. Thus, I am quite aware there are people out here who don't use it medically. So I do still want to educate you people because you wouldn't know the benefits of some of the things you're using, you know? I want to put my music over this.
Our company in 2009 and our original flagship store in Glenwood Springs.
That's what I'm talking about. See what I mean, guys? They started off humble, but and this is a beautiful view of Glenwood Springs. I don't think it's ever been that lush lately. This is like springtime, right? When it was like February, it had to be, because it's never this lush except after the snow.
Since then, we've grown to multiple locations, now covering the greater Roaring Fork and Grand Valley areas here in Colorado.
Rifle. Oh, they have one in Rifle. Okay. I will 100% take you guys on a little car drive when things get better. I actually have a flat tire that I've been nursing with my pump for the last day now. I think I have a leak in my tire. So we won't be having any field trips anytime soon, but next month for sure.
We are truly blessed to have genuine local support, starting with our original medical patients that receive such awesome.
See, and if you guys don't know the information about Charlotte's Web, CBD, this is one of our first Colorado strands that put us on the map for really educating people about CBD. We will do a whole podcast on just Charlotte's Web. I promise you guys.
Benefits from this amazing plant. Years later, the people's voice and historic vote was clearly heard, ushering in legal recreational cannabis, allowing adults to safely consume marijuana with state regulations and oversight. It's been our great honor to expand with this movement and the incredible change in mindset across this great nation. Let freedom ring for weed the people.
That's right, for weed the people.
So that's our story. We've assembled a great team of awesome, passionate bud tenders and grow staff that are dedicated, along with our caring management staff, to deliver world-class cannabis products with superior customer service. We are continually finding new ways and innovations to raise the bar for our customers, including Locals Express, Green Joint to Go online app where you can pre order your favorite items in advance for that quickie pickup. Also, be sure to sign up for our customer loyalty rewards program.
Now, I want to just take a moment on that. Loyalty rewards points started in California in the medical industry. They were very smart with their cannabis industry and doing frequent buyer cards, sometimes free joints. Everybody incentivized. And that's just something we do in the regular world besides cannabis. Well, when you're getting medicine and you get more medicine free or points added, and they actually pay for your medicine where you're short, where you don't even know down the line that you might actually need that like $5, $6, maybe even more. I've had up to $27 in points before and been able to pay for almost all my medicine at the Kind Castle and other places in the past. Like, I really do think you guys need to understand that they do this as a loyalty thing. They want you to come back. Those points are so important to them and to you. So, and I encourage you guys to, yes, go around to different shops if you have a recreational or medicinal, but sign up for those loyalty points, because this is where you as a customer really can make waves and try different products, because those freebies often are things you never thought you were going to get.
Where you can earn awesome points and discounts for future visits. So remember the Green Joint promise: uncompromising quality, knowledgeable and friendly service, and products that truly deliver on our world famous Colorado cannabis heritage. Thank you for supporting your local farmer, where you really can smell, taste, and feel the difference. Thanks for visiting. We look forward to seeing you again soon. And please remember to relax responsibly.
Now, the one thing I can tell you is I've never found a seed in any of their bud. So I think they're growing autos, like a lot of autos. And autos grow fast. So that would make sense. Um, an auto in general, which we'll cover that in a future video. Just do your own research and come back to me later, because we will be talking about that. But I do think that that's why their seeds are just never there. All the other dispensaries I go to, collectives I have been to in Colorado, seeds are just a hit or miss. But with this particular store, they do not have. I mean, their buds are clean as hell, microscope gorgeous, terpene overload. You pay for it. You pay for the quality.
Come experience the best Colorado has to offer in Aspen, Glenwood, Parachute, and Rifle.
It's awesome. So happy to see they're expanding. Now, while we want everyone to enjoy their experience to the fullest, we ask that you please obey all state laws while consuming our product and have fun relaxing responsibly. We are not legal professionals, but are sure to point you in the right direction. If you are still cloudy about recreational marijuana, use edible dosage information. Here at the Green Joint, we take great pleasure in helping every customer and look forward to meeting you soon. I love it. I think they did absolutely fabulous with this video, for one thing. I didn't know they had a location in Aspen too. That's super exciting. I'm curious. We're going to have to take a moment in the future, and I'll have to go over all of these fabulous little insights Oh my gosh, can't believe it was muted. Hold on, guys. Well, that was annoying. Sorry about that. Okay, let me read this again. The one difference that you can notice is that medical marijuana edibles can come with higher levels of THC. I wonder how long I was muted. I apologize, folks. Per pack. Let's see. Typical recreational products will come as packs of 100 milligrams. THC per pack. Medical cannabis edibles can contain 200 and 500 milligrams. THC per pack, since medical users can purchase higher amounts of marijuana, of cannabis. So I wanted to bring this up because this is the important part of my very near future. I've lived here in Colorado for 6 years now. Actually more like 7, since I spent like a good few months while I was pregnant here. Anyway, and so that being said, yeah, I have the same rights as every other Colorado resident, but if I got my medical card, it would up a lot of things. So it upped my percentages, it upped my grow rate, it upped everything. So I'm probably going to do that in a few months. I'm actually looking to possibly do it in December, just because it would be my own Christmas present. It can get pricey to get your medical card here. It depends on the doctor you go through and whatnot. And you usually pay for your plant count. So if you want more plants, you pay the doctor for more of that. That's what I understand. Now, if that's completely true, I don't know. We'll find out through the process. But I did think it was important to cover this today, and we're going to just read over this article. This is Colorado recreational weed versus medical. What's the difference? This is 3/3/2022, the most updated I could find. Whether you are new to whether you're new to marijuana scene or traveling to Colorado for the first time, things can be confusing. One topic that came up repeatedly is the difference between Colorado recreational weed and medical weed. In this article today, we will go over the differences in products, purchasing, and more. Differences in purchasing. Colorado recreational weed has been legal for sale since 2014. Any adult over 21 with a valid government ID can purchase marijuana. With recreational sales, you are limited to purchasing up to 1 ounce at a dispensary per day. You're also limited to carrying up to an ounce of 28 grams or equivalent on yourself, meaning each person in a vehicle or each person found in public can have 28 grams on them. Colorado considered 8 grams of concentrates, wax, shatter, has, etc. I did not know that. Wow, I did not know that. So, wow, you could have a few. Wow. That's interesting. All right, let's put this in perspective, folks. What they are saying right here is that Colorado considered 8 grams of concentrates, wax, shatter, hash, all that, or 800 milligrams of edibles to be the equivalent to 1 ounce of flour. So don't drive around with your freaking concentrates. It makes no sense. These limits are different for medical weed. I'm going to say cannabis. I'm sick of this. For Colorado residents with the medical cannabis card, the purchase limit is 2 ounces or equivalent. For those who purchase cannabis medical products, now you can, if you know the word, writer, then put it in the article. Oh my God. Looking into obtaining a medical cannabis card can be beneficial. Presenting your medical card at Cali's Wills grant you a 10% discount. That's true. Every single recreational that I would go to normally, I'd get even more of a discount by just having my medical card. That is another fact. That's how California has done it for a long time too. Colorado recreational weed quality and potency. One of the most common questions we receive is whether there is a difference in the quality of potency between recreational and medical cannabis. The short and quick answer is no. The quality between recreational and medical cannabis is the same. The cannabis enforcement, okay, this is bullshit. The why did you do that, Colorado? The Marijuana Enforcement Division highly regulates marijuana products in Colorado dispensaries. This regulation makes sure you are receiving what you pay for. That's it. We are so proud about that. Colorado is not, we don't play. We do not play. The one difference that you will notice is that medical marijuana edibles can come with higher levels of THC. Typically, recreational products will come as packs of 100 THC per pack. Medical cannabis edibles can contain 200 and 500 milligrams THC per pack, since medical users can purchase higher amounts of cannabis. Are there different products available for medical or recreational cannabis? For the most part, the products will be similar. There will be some differences through regarding the amount of CBD and THC CBD. For one, does not have any psychoactive effects, while THC is what gives you that high effect. Medical products will often have higher levels of CBD as they are looking to alleviate symptoms of diseases and conditions, some of which can include endometriosis, Parkinson's disease, glaucoma, epilepsy, and multiple sclerosis. While on the other hand, recreational products often are higher in THC concentration to give off the classic high feeling. Additionally, with medical and recreational cannabis, you will find a variety of different product types available. We no longer limit to flower products for one to enjoy. Taking a quick look at the Cali shop menu online, you will find traditional flower pre-rolled. I don't know. Traditional. I think that's what they're trying to say. You will find traditional flower. That's bad. Fix that, people. Oh my gosh. Pre-rolls, vaporizers, concentrates, edibles, and topical products. These types of products are available for Colorado recreational weed and medical products. Don't worry. If you feel overwhelming, you can trust. You feel it's all overwhelming, you can trust your local Cali shop to guide you in the right direction. Now, I'm going to say right now, you guys should be asking questions. I don't care where you're at. If you're at a shop and you even know the answer, test those bud tenders. Test them. Where can you enjoy Colorado recreational cannabis? It is often assumed that because cannabis is legal in Colorado, one can smoke cannabis anywhere. This is not true. And the laws are dictating where you cannot smoke. Now, this is so important. I want to put this out here because California will go over this another day, how they're so different. The one place you are legally allowed to smoke is the private residencies. So I want to stop right here and we're going to get into the nitty gritty. This is something that irks the hell out of me. And I have spoken about it. I've talked about it over the years, but here we are getting in the nitty gritty. This is an idea that Colorado adopted early. They said, out of sight, out of mind. If you're a cannabis smoker and we have access to it, do it. But don't make it be all over the place. Unless you are like me, an activist, and you put yourself on the line and you put yourself online with all this information, it is what I do. But if you're just a normal folk, you have a normal job, nothing that's heavy machinery, nothing that's in an industry not allowed to have cannabis, things like that, right? Okay. But Colorado is so out there telling people we're legal, we believe in this medicine. This is something that doesn't hurt people and it's great for our economy. Yet we want you to stay indoors. And the private residences. Oh, and it's a recreational thing. So yeah, you can come to Colorado, but when you go to a hotel, it's a hit or miss if the hotel is going to charge you for a cleaning fee because they smoke cannabis. And maybe they're next door to a cannabis shop. It's just silly. The whole thing's freaking silly. So I don't really like that because it's not legal federally. They can't really, they can control where it's being seen. If it was federally written in the law, then that's what all of our states would go by. California, it's wherever you smoke a cigarette, you could smoke cannabis. Now, at one point, it was even okay for you to drive at one point, but it's not okay anymore. Now it's like you can't, your keys cannot be in the ignition, but you could be smoking in your car parked. That's allowed in California. Here, it's not. Never can you smoke in your vehicle. I mean, it's just a reality. So, transporting marijuana and things like that to cannabis, we'll be talking about that too, because I have some eye-opening articles we're going to touch on today. Okay, if you are above the age of 21, you can smoke freely in privacy of your own home. Okay, when it comes to transporting cannabis, you can transport marijuana in your car as long as it is stored in a closed container. You also cannot cross state lines with marijuana in your vehicle. You cannot smoke while you're in the car. So these three things. All right, let's talk about California versus Colorado. All right. Now, transporting cannabis in California, I'm not sure how it's changed. As far as I know, you could only have, like, I think a quarter. I don't think you could have that many grams as we are. I don't think you could have up to 28. So I'm not sure on this part. I'm just going to say that right now. And where were you supposed to store it in your car in California? In the center console or the truck? The trunk was the best spot. Our own doctors that gave us our medical cards would tell us, put it in the trunk in a container and keep it locked up. Because how do our searches and seizures usually work? They pull you over, and then if you have it in your center console, well, that's easy access. It's too close to be able to to pull out and use. So if it's in your trunk, it's a lot less of a charge or assumptions or more drama to assume that you had free access to it. And if there's a smell, Colorado does not come after you for that, but it could start the whole search if they found it in your center console. And let's say you have something already burned a little bit, like a one hitter or something like that. Yeah, that smells, it's an odor. Even if the odor wasn't there and it was like residual of a pipe, they could get you on that because it could be in your system, all the things. So I really want you guys to hear me. If you're visiting Colorado, keep it in the trunk and keep it zipped up. Don't pull it out until you're stopped, and make sure your hotel room allows you to smoke in that location. Okay. You can also not cross state lines with cannabis. Let's go blow your minds. Okay. This is going to blow your fucking minds. Transporting over state lines in California. Let's go look at this article. I happen to know something you might not know. Oh, let's find it. Legalization, transfer in Oregon to California. Okay. Oh, it muted itself again. I'm so sorry. Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to say, before I was rudely muted by my StreamYard, that we will be going over the transportation and transport over border laws that exist, because when I was in Oregon, they told me point blank that there is a loophole in California and Oregon that they're allowed to transfer over borders. And I'm trying to find the article, the one I was pulling up. Unfortunately, it wants me to pay for it, so that's bullshit. But I will be giving you guys a whole video on how there are some strange ass laws that go with the cannabis industry. So I was trying to bring it up. I couldn't bring it up. So just bear with me. Let's go back to this main point, because what we really do need here is laws that allow people to take their medicine over state lines. Like, are we honestly convicting people for taking their cigarettes over state lines where they paid a sales tax in another state? I mean, come on. If you're using responsibly, then whatever you do when you're using is your responsibility. I don't understand that. Like, are we policing people who use alcohol? Yes, only if they act up. So it's kind of strange. There's a lot more we're going to be talking about that. Can you guys hear me? I don't know if it's working. All right, I think it should work now. I apologize. I don't know if you guys heard what I was saying, but I was trying to say that we will be talking about overstate lines, transferring cannabis, how it is something that needs to be changed, because if cigarettes are allowed to be over state lines with the sales tax, and alcohol, what you do over state lines, you're not supposed to transport alcohol over state lines. These tobacco, alcohol, and cannabis are one of those things that need some serious restructuring of the laws. So, in regards to Oregon, as I've been saying, I don't know if any of that came out, so I'm going to say it all again. Sorry, guys. The article I was trying to bring up, unfortunately, was not letting me show you guys, but it is, from what I understand from when I spoke to people in Oregon when I visited a couple of years ago, 2018, they told me there are loopholes to transfer over state lines. It's very strange that it's allowed. Like California, you can't bring cannabis into Oregon, but Oregon you can into California. But then when I looked it up, it says it's not. Yet there are some serious campaigns right now to make that change, because it's not just about access, it's about having your access to your medicine. Like, if you are a medical patient, why aren't we being represented? Like, if you are a medical card holder, why am I not allowed to travel in a plane with my medicine? Oh, because it's not federally legal? Okay. So let's go on to the rest of this article. It's just a stupid situation. Okay. Now, you cannot smoke while you're in your car. I don't really know any state at this point that really allows it, other than I do know California had a law at one point that was, as long as your keys were not in the ignition, you could smoke in your vehicle. So if it didn't look like the car was on, it's a form of property. You can smoke into that vehicle, but not while it's running, or you are being a passenger to a driver, for what I understand. Now, I don't know if that's the way it is here. We'll find out. You cannot smoke in a dispensary you purchased your product from, or any other dispensary, which brings us to another great difference between recreational and medical weed. In most Colorado dispensaries, you will find a medical and recreational side. Customers with a medical marijuana card can purchase from either side. Recreational shoppers are required to stay on the recreational side. Interesting. Okay. You are also not allowed to smoke in any public areas. Remember, public areas are including bars, restaurants, movie theaters, playgrounds, parks, concerts, and more. Remember, the federal parks are property of the federal government and not the state. It is a crime to possess marijuana on any federal land. It does not matter that you are in Colorado. Did you just hear that, guys? Don't go camping. Don't go camping without consequences. or that the weed product was purchased legally. Here we go. This is what I was talking about earlier. I hope it didn't cut me out. We're just going to be regurgitating information here. It's all worth it. Hotels are mixed options for tourists looking to enjoy Colorado recreational cannabis. In a public space in the hotel, you wouldn't be able to smoke, but rooms are private. Since rooms are private, the law states that it's up to the hotel to decide. So don't come to Colorado and think you're going to be completely welcomed by every Motel 6 with your bud. Not going to happen. Mostly them, they don't. If smoking in a private room is allowed, make sure to check with your hotel before booking. That also includes Airbnbs. I do know personally that most of my friends here in Colorado or people in out of state that come to Colorado that go traveling normally find Airbnbs that state they are cannabis friendly. There are some that even have like dab rig bars and stuff like that, like straight up torches in the property because you can't get on a plane with a torch, but it'd be nice to have a $30 torch ready to go wherever you're going if you dab. Okay. If you search online, you will find many hotels, Airbnb style properties, advertising that they are weed friendly. Making sure you are safe to smoke will save you money, or it will save you many headaches while on vacation in Colorado. Well, my other point makes sense too. It'll save you money from having to get to a different hotel. They'll kick you out. Can one grow Colorado recreational weed? You need to be a Colorado resident, age 21 years and older, to grow weed in your home. You are limited to 3 flowering plants at a time. So 3 flowering plants. What does that mean? 3 that are ready to be harvested, and then 3 that are in veg. I know you're allowed to have. All plants need to be kept out of view and secure so no minors can have access to them. So what we have in Colorado is, I believe, and even I'm sure about this, but we'll find out, if it's no open air grows, because they have to be contained with like the greenery stuff that hides them and stuff, the decoy green fabric that goes around the grow. Plants are not allowed to be grown outdoors. Make sure, unless you're covered it. So that's how we have all these indoor crops that do big scale operations in the greenhouses. That's considered indoors, not outdoors. Farming, if you see any farms in Colorado that have cannabis outside, it's hemp. So we're going to step for a second and we're going to talk about this. I really do believe that the reason that they're doing this is so that Colorado can have that open market of the CBD. Because CBD, if you don't know about black market and air taking pollen and killing off, CBD plants across Colorado have changed our genetics. They are in the air. The CBD is in the air. The pollen goes in it, messes up percentages. It's been well known. In my town in itself, we have the CBD college for Colorado in my town. So that they're teaching, it's the hemp university. So they're like teaching people, and they had outdoor grows. And just like regular cannabis, it does have pollen sacs. Like it is a male plant. So when you're growing hemp, it is a very fierce plant and it keeps wanting to produce. So it pollinates itself and it pollinates the air. So outdoor grows in Colorado are nothing like California grows. Nothing like California grows. California grows are outdoors and everywhere most of the time. And then you're tenting it if you have very aggressive heat. So like if you're in the desert area, you wouldn't want to grow out there unless you've got supple amount of water and a big team to help you keep those plants happy and out of stress. As you can see, there is not much of a difference between Colorado recreational weed versus medical weed. The biggest difference comes in the levels of THC and CBD along with pricing. So pricing can be cheaper. I do know that for medicinal. So we will probably be on that adventure here, as I will probably be getting my card in December. For Colorado residents that are eligible for a medical marijuana card, using that for a discount is a benefit, at least at Cali's, for tourists who are looking to enjoy the best cannabis found on earth. They all say theirs is the best. We know that. That's a marketing ploy. Recreational weed is always a great option to enjoy. Whether you are looking for Colorado recreational weed or medical cannabis, Cali's shop has you covered. Make sure you check out menu. Let's see what this is. So this is, I will include all of these lovely links in the bio. All right, let's get out of this real quick. So now you guys have a little bit of information. I know, isn't that a downer? We're like the most legal of all the legals, and we don't even let you smoke outside comfortably. Yeah, bitch. It's fucked up. Okay, California has it a little bit better, I would say, about considering it like cannabis. Tobacco. Let's share this screen. Is it transferring color bars? Okay. I want to bring this up because we were talking about in that article. Let's see here. Oh, let me go back. So 6 popular bars and lounges to smoke that weekend in Denver. Now, these are places that allow you to smoke. I am most positive that, like, from what I understand, they are also considered and licensed as a business, as a dispensary. I'm almost positive. So it's like a hookah shop, but cannabis. Okay, let's see this. Let me exit out of that. As one of the first states to legalize recreational cannabis use, Colorado is an early depiction of the Americans' 420 future. Cross-economic harmony, smiling faces, and pot lounges and bars on every corner, including in almost every smoke lounge, is a small dab section. Dab being the waxy marijuana concentrate that contains high levels of THC. Need help finding the elusive dab smoking lounge? We have compiled a list of 6 lounges and bars to smoke in Denver. Okay, so if I go to Denver, I'll bring you guys there. I'm 3 hours from Denver. Okay. Looper, an innovative smoking lounge on wheels. Looper is a mobile nightclub in Denver that offers each season toker the opportunity to see the mile high city mile high. Variously themed tourists offer the chance to see a different side of Denver, from a cuisine to nature. Most importantly, dabbing is allowed on board. Okay. That's interesting, though. I'm sure they have to stop when they're allowed to do it. Okay. Tetra Private Lounge and Garden along Denver's Walnut Street. Tetra Private Lounge and Garden in Denver offers an instant access to the heart of the Denver Arts District and is popularly the best option for those in search of a pop bar and lounge. The smoking lounge features an atrium-lit interior that is filled with couches and flat screens, while an art-filled outdoor patio bar, fresh air. Oh, that's totally wild. That is so wild. Look at this. Oh my gosh, guys. Okay. Studio 420. Remember Studio 60 on the Sunset Strip? Well, this is their more relaxed cousin. A smoke-friendly household, Studio 420 offers a massive dab bar smack dab in the middle of their store. Not to mention a wide variety of custom-blown pieces. That is super cool. That is very small, though. Like, how many people can you actually fit in there? It's very neat. I like the idea. I really do. Like a creative outlet for real. The Coffee Joint, a great social hangout known for its live music and complimentary coffee, a spring water. The Coffee Joint made history by being the first recreational lounge in Denver. Attached to a dispensary. I was like, they have a loophole. And a happy home to a spacious lounge and conference room. It couldn't be easier to get down in dabness. That is very cool to see. Now, this is the future here in Colorado. I know here and Louisiana, once they go recreational, we will see the Amsterdam of America. It will happen. I went to Amsterdam in 2009, so I can speak quite freely on that. A speakeasy vape lounge and cannabis club dab bar. Along East Bingy Street, Speakeasy Vape Lounge and Cannabis is a dimly lit Pot Bar in Denver that offers a fun dance floor, vintage video game. I love this place. A pool, tables known to bring all kinds of crowds to their dab bar. Electric range of people high and low can be found here. Order some dinner. I love this place. I want to go there. I want to see this. Let's see what it looks like, guys. This is super freaking cool. Remain closed. Oh my, no. This is terrible. Are they really still closed since COVID? That's screwed up. I'm going to try to reach out to them because I want a statement from them. This is freaking, that's shitty. How it works. Let's see. Private member only cannabis club for adults over 21 years in age. Oh, you guys can't see it. Are you seeing this? No, you're not. Let me pull it up. Sorry, guys. Stop sharing. Present. Here we go. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, let me go back up here a second. It says Speakeasy Vape Lounge and Cannabis Club is Colorado's premier private members only cannabis club for adults over 21 years of age. It is supported by members' donations and local businesses. Trial memberships are available daily. Full stock CBD bar and dab bar. Bring your own bud as well. Oh my gosh, this is awesome. This is great. So it's a club. You pay to get in. And it's a social. Oh, I love this. See, this is exactly what we need. I'm saying this. How are we supposed to meet one another, guys? Like the reality of like going out in public, we're not the drinking community over here. Yes, some of us drink occasionally, but some of us don't at all. And this is what we need, a location where we can go and meet our people. I think that's great. Okay, let's go back to the good stuff. Where did I put it? Did I mess it up? I did mess it up. Okay. Hold on a second. All right. So I think that's quite intense to see. Hold on, let me exit out of some of these so I don't get myself confused. And then Oregon. Let's exit out of that. Speakeasy. Okay. And then the Dab Lounge, I think, is the last one. I missed it. But okay. So I will include all these articles for you guys. I'm not ending it yet, but let me go over here. So we want to go to in funding. All right. So I want to bring this up because I have already mentioned it before, and I think it's very important to bring up. So in 2012, Colorado voters approved Amendment 64, which allowed adults 21 and older to consume or possess cannabis and required the state to set up a regulatory structure for the retail of cannabis industry, of the retail marijuana industry. It is also maintained as an excess tax with the first $40 billion collected to reserve for schools and construction. Okay, so what does this mean? This means that they work on the building, they work on budgets, it's not to give those teachers a fluff up. This money has to be allocated in some way, shape, or form to help the schools actually get what they need. And I'm telling you, there's not a school in this state that is gone to shrapple. Nothing looks bad around here. Okay. Let me see if I can get this. All right, here we go. So the overview. Colorado voters approved the legal sale of marijuana to adults 21 and older with a portion of the tax revenue going to education. Though the amount of tax revenue that comes from marijuana sales is minimal, around 1% of the sales of the state's total education budget. The money is directed to a variety of programs, including school construction, bullying prevention, and behavioral health. Tell me that's not huge. Tell me right there, guys, that's not something to be proud of Colorado for doing. This is a brief glimpse on the revenue that comes into Colorado Department of Education through marijuana sales. If we didn't have this, our children wouldn't have the benefits that they have from us adults here, purchasing cannabis and consuming. In 2012, Colorado voters approved Amendment 64, which allowed adults 21 and older to consume or possess marijuana and required the state to set up a regulatory structure for the retail marijuana industry. It also maintained an excess tax with the first $40 million collected to be reserved for school constructions. In 2013, voters approved Proposition AA, allowing the state to levy up to 15% excess tax on unprocessed marijuana and up to 15% of retail tax on marijuana sales. So this must be, there's a tax on the plant as it's growing. That's what it looks like, unprocessed marijuana. Unprocessed means it's agriculture. And then 15% for retail sales. So then after the product, so that's 30% on the plant. That's huge. In addition, both medical and recreational marijuana continue to be subject to the state's 2.9 sales tax. So that's even higher because then it goes on top of that. So 32.9. In 2017, the legislature changed the forms, really increasing the statewide sales tax to 15% from 10% and changing how the revenue is distributed. In 2018, the legislature changed the formula on the amount of excess tax on retail marijuana can be collected starting July 1st, 2018. The excess tax for education is either the greater of 90% or the revenue annually collected for the first 40 million collected. In 2019, House Bill 1055 changed the formula to 100% of the sales. I love it. Changed the formula to 100% of the excess tax on retail can be collected for school construction. Oh, it's so huge. Okay, here we go. Here's a great little demographic. I am so happy to be sharing this with you guys. Excess tax for hotel 15 for retail marijuana, building excellence. Then it goes down the best, public school capital, construction, assistance fund. So this particular fund is what I talked about in my community post. Let me bring that up, actually. I'm going to read it to you guys because I want to point something out. It needs to be said. It needs to be said. It's just so great. It needs to be said. Period. All right. And I have a sore throat. I have not told you guys that, but I have a sore throat. So I'm not feeling the best. But we're hanging out. Okay. Let me pull up this and I'll come back to the other in a moment. I look rough. I'm sorry, guys. Wrong button. Let's see. Present. All right. Can you hear me still, guys? I hope so. I kicked myself out, so I'll come back and have to fix that. Anyway, so what is this? What is this I'm talking about? I'm going to read this and then I will go over what I'm talking about. Needless to say, I'll be live on the podcast, The Mary and Joe Show, tomorrow during the day. Hello, here I am right now. Unsure on the time, I can say it will be way before 4 p.m. Hello, of course, way before 4 p.m. Today was a long day. I'm low on medicine, only edibles as of right now. Already had to use up my birthday joints, but I will be going over the strands in my reviews the next few days. But tomorrow, meaning today, I'm hoping to grab some medicine in the shop is good on supply. Apes of Shade are affordable now only at Kind Castle, $6. So what they're doing is they're pre-grinding. It's just like it sounds, shake, but it's not cooking shake. It's actually smokable. So I can review more strands even more often. I had issues with neuropathy, anxiety, and mild depression related to seasonal. I want to actually point this out right here. When the weather changes, my body starts to hurt more. And when it starts to hurt more, I almost have to smoke more, do a lot more to keep myself from, it's almost like atrophying. Like I just hurt and then the weather makes it worse. And then when I don't feel good and I know that the seasons are changing too, I'm already kind of going into a little bit of a seasonal depression. And so what I have to do at these times is really keep myself busy. So that's just that point. I struggle this time of the year, and so even though I felt like crap, my fibromyalgia and GI flares hard today, and my energy goes to nothing. Ate a few 10 milligram, 1:1 ratio THC CBD edibles that allowed me to clean my house, do dishes, laundry, declutter some summer clothes. I'm getting ready for winter, and already donated to my local community resource center. The community resource center is what I am talking about with this. So here we go. I have spoken on often the resource center, Parachute, Colorado. The cannabis industry is responsible for the extra funding the children's preschool all the way to high school have access to a building the community paid to have constructed and pays through the sales tax of the state recreational cannabis in Colorado cannabis sales tax. Portion of the profits are paid through taxes, and funds are allocated to schools and districts in need with funds in our community. We can drop off clothes, houseware items, and even add to the community's refrigerator and freezer. They stock with purchased food or leftovers from the whole school district it feeds. That's what I meant to say. That is huge. So when the pandemic happened and kids weren't in school, they still were getting their funding for food because they had set it up, this building that they used the money to actually put towards the community. There was food that all year round people were able to go and get food for their kids like normal school days. Like they were doing virtual schooling and able to go get the food there. And then they would do food drive. I mean, it was just insane how great this community is. Our community grows vegetables locally, and some of our local homes, these homegrown vegetables, are donated to this building, the resource center. And it's all from cannabis. If cannabis had not been the reason that that building was there, we wouldn't be able to feed people. Like, it goes so much deeper than just having access to the medicine. It goes so much deeper to how many people this helps every single time you guys go in there into our state and spend your money in these shops. I thank you all. I personally have only heard of our dynamic and model of community outreach in other smaller towns. But why doesn't the state, for every state in the United States, offer a resource center which also would give back to the children and families who have school-age children? It just makes complete sense. And it only really costs building fees and basic square footage to keep the items accessible. I'll try to see if I can show you all soon what they are doing. I'll ask them if I can record next time. We share our things with local children and families. We are part of the school's community district. It's powerful to see my extras being appreciated and used. I have been a reseller for thrifted clothes for over 10 years now. And other thrifted things. I get clothes and items often, and I flip, fix, or upcycle. That is part of the reseller game. I love seeing things being, I love, wait. I love seeing things, I meant to say being loved and valued, be loved and valued without money as the focus. I painted some of my son's floor, the grass today, and I will show updates on TikTok later today, guys. So, and I feel like these memes are so appropriate too. My entire life described in one sentence is it didn't go as planned, and that's okay. When you run out of weed, I hate everyone, you stupid cunts. Yeah, it kind of can be like that when you're not feeling well. Let me say that part. But anyway, let's go back to this marijuana tax. I hope you guys are learning a little something. Okay, I'm going to pop out and come right back in. So hang out, guys. Hold on one second. Hold on one second. And that, and then I think we're able to get back in. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. I hope it's working still. If it fucked up the whole time, why is it echoing? Okay, what about now? Okay. It's echoing. Hang on, everyone. All right. I apologize. Sorry about that. Technology is a bitch sometimes. I'm so sorry. Okay, please don't hate. Please don't hate. All right, share screen. Back to the good stuff. So, where are we going? We're not going to go to that one. Is it this one? Okay. I want to go here, but laws on cannabis. All right. So, this is from the coloradocannabis.gov. This is as fucking up to date as you can get. Boy. Here we go. The laws described on this page may not apply to medical marijuana. Visit the medical marijuana page for information. Buying, selling, having, using, making hash oil, point of sale regulations, pregnant people, and marijuana taxes. I can't wait to share this in the bio because I'm sure we're going to come back to this in the description area because we're going to come back to this another day, I'm sure. Check out local laws. Hold on. Man, I hope I'm not getting sick. My throat hurts so bad right now. Let me have a little swig of my coffee. Hold on. Oh. Okay. You must be 21. For people 21 to buy, have to use retail marijuana. So I honestly think that this right here pointed out is because, as far as I know, when it comes to medical, and this isn't in reference to medical, but medical, you could be a minor and get a medical card, but it has to be going through your parents. So it's a custodial. Like somebody is the guardian of your medical marijuana card if you're underage. I think that's how it works. I don't think that there's a single person that can purchase recreational or have the medicine purchased for a minor in any way, shape, or form in Colorado. I don't think that is, I think that's the loophole, is you have to have your medical card if you're under, like, say, 19 or 20, okay? It's a felony for anyone to give or sell or share marijuana with anyone under 21. So that's my point. You must present a valid ID providing you are 21 or older. Buy recreational marijuana only from licensed retail stores. Adults over the age of 21 can buy and possess up to 1 ounce of marijuana at a time. That's so crazy to even carry that much around. Okay, and then limit to selling. Only licensed retailers can sell marijuana products. Over 21 can give up to 2 ounces of marijuana to another adult. What? Okay. Adults over 21 can give up to 2 ounces of marijuana to another adult or older, but can't sell. So that means cropping out. You have a harvest, you want to gift it to someone, you can gift it in Colorado. Up to 2 ounces of marijuana to another adult, 21 or older, but can't sell cannabis. This includes homegrown product. Well, this is exciting. I'm really glad that this was, I knew that, but I didn't know how it was written. Okay, using and having no more than 2 ounces. Adults 21 and older can have up to 2 ounces of marijuana. Having more can result in legal charges or fines. Public use is illegal. Using marijuana in any way, smoking, eating, or vaping isn't allowed in public places. This includes the following outdoor and indoor areas and many more. Sidewalks, parks and amusement parks, ski resorts, concert venues, businesses, restaurants, cafes, and bars. Common areas of apartments, buildings, and condominiums. Man, they had to add it all. Used on federal land are illegal, since marijuana is still illegal under federal law. So let's stop for a second. When this is changed in all of the states that have this written in their bill, it no longer would be a part of it. So when we read the bill again, if it would say if it is no longer illegal, it is no. It would say, since marijuana is no longer illegal under federal law, you can use on federal land, but you can't. Not until it is federally changed. So, what does that mean for a person who's visiting Colorado? Including national parks, national forests, and including ski slopes. So when people come here and they're like, I'm gonna go get a cabin. Hey there, Lee, how you doing? And I'm gonna smoke. You better talk to that Airbnb, and if it's on federal land, you can't. So it's just, that's unfortunately the way it is. Where can you use? Private property is your best bet. However, property owners can ban the use of and possession of marijuana on their properties. If you rent, you may not be allowed to use marijuana in your home. Hotel owners can ban the use of possession of marijuana on their properties. You may not be able to use in a hotel room. Be sure to reach the places you'll be staying. Research the places you'll be staying in Colorado. I say ahead of time when you, oh, Leah. Hey, Leah. I say if you are interested in visiting Colorado, then do all the research you can to set up your locations, your stays. You can't smoke in your car, all the fun things. Point of sale regulations. You must present a valid ID providing you are at least 21 years old. So be prepared. No minors allowed. According to the retail marijuana rules passed by the Department of Revenue, no one under 21 is allowed in the restricted portion of a retail store. So when I was a new mom and I was Are you spamming the chat, or are you going to be kindly? Because if you're going to spam, I'm not going to reference you. Okay, so when I was a new mom and I was getting my medicine after my son was on the bottle and no longer breastfeeding and things like that, I was able to start using cannabis again. And one of the things that was very a catch-22 is that when you're a new mom in any way, shape, or form, you can't even bring them. I don't think it's appropriate to leave your kids in the car. That's just my opinion. But it is harder for us parents out there because we are not allowed to, like, there's no sitting room for them to sit in and anything. And from what I remember, I think in California, you could at least have a minor sit in the waiting room. They couldn't go into the main spot, but you could like bring a child to sit on the chair in the waiting room. They couldn't go past the threshold of where the actual product was, but they could stay in the waiting room. In Colorado, it's nothing like that. You can't come in the door at all. So, limited hours of sales. Under state rules, retail marijuana businesses can be open only between 8 a.m. and midnight. That's interesting. In California, there are places open all night long. There are delivery services that go on all night long. Municipalities can require sticker hours of operation. So be sure to check local laws before you head to a retailer. Retail and medical marijuana businesses are required to sell all marijuana products in packaging that resealable. That's resealable. Okay. Child restraint is and not see-through. That's interesting because California does see-through packaging. It's for a hot minute has always done that. I don't know if it's changed since then. Maybe they do have only bottles now, but I remember seeing clear baggies with the cannabis, including in Silk, Colorado. Um, the packaging protects children, teens, and adults from accidentally eating something that they don't realize contains cannabis. Using this packaging from the store is an important first step in safe storage. I think every parent out there, if you've got kids, you need a lockbox. You need a drawer with a lockbox. It's just the best way to do it, or out of reach and secured. I have an alarm system on mine. I literally has digital tracking system on my drawer to let me know. It makes a sound when it opens. It gives me a text when it's opened, and it's locked. So there's a whole lot more. Oh, you better toke on your front porch. Join us. Yes. The Department of Revenue requires that all retail marijuana products use the symbol pictured here on packaging. Teach your kids not to eat or drink anything with a symbol on the packaging. Also, adults who can't read the ingredient label can use the symbol as a warning that the product contains marijuana. Now, why aren't we just doing it all green? Like, dye everything green. That's what I do. When I make edibles, I dye it with food coloring green, and then I seal them, like hot seal the bag, literally airtight seal it, and I freeze my stuff, usually. But coloring is very important. And then molds, too, certain molds. I don't go with the cliche leaf things. Yep, you can't even smoke on your porch. It's crazy. It's totally crazy. Chicago Police Department told officers. Oh, it's terrible. So, pregnant people, marijuana using during pregnancy is unsafe and may have legal consequences. Some hospitals test babies after birth for drugs. If your baby tests positive for THC at birth, hospitals may choose to notify Child Protective Services. Talk to your doctor early in your pregnancy about any marijuana use and safer alternatives if you are using to help with nausea. Marijuana taxes. A 15% sales tax at point of sale and a 15% excess tax was added to the wholesale price of retail marijuana between cultivators and businesses. These taxes don't apply to medical marijuana. Ho, ho. We're going to get into that world, guys. I'm telling you, December is when I'm getting my medical card. It's just time. I want to up my plant count. Learn more about the taxes from Colorado Department of Revenue. I also was a medical patient in California for 9 years. So real talk here. It's kind of ridiculous. I haven't done it yet. And I've been yelled at by friends who are bud tenders, like literally yelled at, like, what's wrong with you? You need to. And it's like so much money, shareable resources, but it is a great protection and you do get better concentrates, better percentages. Okay, so I'll be adding this to the bio too. Let's exit out of that and let's go over to some more information. I hope I'm overwhelming you guys with all the good stuff. Is this it? No, that's the one they want to charge me to look at it. Okay, I think there's 2 more we're going to look at. All right, so this is called WM Tech Blog, and it's from Weed Maps specifically, but 2022 has been a dynamic year for the cannabis industry, and it's not over yet. September 30th, 2022. From sales in new states to government agencies airing their own cannabis commercials during major sporting events, the needle continues to move forward in the legalization of normalization of cannabis in the United States. The momentum will continue through 2022 election season, as several states are set to vote on whether or not to legalize cannabis via ballot measures. As we head into the fall quarter of 2022, we reflect on some of the cannabis policy highlighted in the first half of the year. All right. And I'm checking the chat here and there, so bear with me, guys. Okay. West Coast. Adult use sales began in New Mexico. On April 1st, 2022, adult use cannabis sales officially began in New Mexico. From uncapped licenses, low barriers to entry, and consumption lounges. Oh, that's great. That's awesome. There's a lot to be excited about in the land of enchantment. Hundreds of new cannabis businesses have opened up, and the state now enjoys millions of dollars in cannabis tax revenue every month. The New Mexico cannabis industry though still in its infancy, continues to expand and flourish. Just as the state motto says, it grows as it goes. Oh, I love it. That's fabulous. Okay. California Local Government Grant Program. Today, more than 60% of local governments in California prohibit cannabis retailers in their jurisdiction. California Governor Gavin Newsom wants to change that and help expand the legal cannabis industry in the state. Earlier this year, we announced a cannabis local jurisdiction retail access grant program. Wow, that's a mouthful. let's see here. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for stopping by. Let's go back to this. Hold on. Wants to change that to help expand the legal cannabis industry in the state. Earlier in the year, he announced a cannabis local is incentivizing local governments to license more cannabis dispensaries. The grant program includes a one-time appropriation of $20.5 million and aims to help with the startup cost in implementing local retail licensing programs. California also eliminated its cannabis cultivation tax this year, bringing much needed tax relief to struggling cannabis industries. That is super strange. They took away it? That's really interesting. I'll have to look into that further. East Coast, an adult use legalization in Rhode Island. Rhode Island became the 19th state of legal adult use cannabis. The state was issued 24 new retail licenses across 6 geographic zones. For each zone, one retail license will be issued to a worker-owned cooperative. So that's why I say collective all the time, because it's cooperative. And one other will be issued to a qualified social equality applicant. Is that right? Social equity. Okay. The legalization bill also includes automatic impungement improvement provisions for certain cannabis-related convictions. That's great to hear. Adult use cannabis sales could begin as early as the end of this year. Adult use sales began in New Jersey. Adult cannabis sales began in New Jersey as a select alternative treatment. Oh, that's great. ATC are virtually an integrated cannabis businesses serving medical patients, and several centers have received approval for their local government and the state to begin selling cannabis for adults 21 years of age and older. Meanwhile, the Cannabis Regulatory Commission has been actively engaged in the rulemaking process and began issuing conditional licenses to the new retailers, cultivators, manufacturers, and testing laboratories. Delivery allowed in Maine. Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. I know someone in Maine who that would be a blessing. Delivery allowed in Maine. Maine passed the bill to allow cannabis delivery and curbside pickup. We need this in Colorado. This is really, it's remarkable that we don't have this in Colorado, because we have very harsh climate just like Maine. And when we have snowstorms and stuff like that, I hate to say this, but there are a lot of people that just shouldn't be on the road. And let's say that you're using it medically. You go out in a car and you'll get your medicine and you get in an accident because you're not of par. I mean, why don't we have delivery? I don't understand it. I mean, and especially in rural areas. Under the new law, cannabis can be delivered to any part of the state, regardless whether a municipality allows cannabis retail sales. For more information on cannabis delivery, check out the delivery page on the WM Policy website. We're going to have to dive into that very soon, because it's eye-opening. Adult use legalization ballot measure in Maryland. Earlier this year, Maryland legislature voted to place an adult use cannabis legalization measure on the November ballot, allowing voters to decide on legalization in the state. The legislature passed a separate implementation. Is that right? Implementation? Yeah. Bill that sets up a basic cannabis regulatory framework. Should the ballot measure pass, recent polling indicates 59% of that's a hard 59 right there. I mean, it may pass with that kind of numbers, and Maryland votes intend to vote for the favor of ballot measure. New York's Office of Cannabis Management, Cannabis Aid during ad. Oh my God, that's interesting. Okay. Sorry guys, hold on 1 second. New York's Office of Cannabis Management, Cannabis Aid ad during the NBA finals. I'm amazed by this because kids are going to see this too. So they're making it normal. During the NBA finals, New York's Office of Cannabis Management, OCM, aired a TV commercial highlighting the radically despite enforcement of cannabis prohibition laws and the steps New York is taking to add the harms of cannabis criminalization. This is great. The commercial was the first cannabis-related advertisement on air TV discussing social equality and the disproportionate impact cannabis criminalization has on the Black and Latino New Yorkers. Meanwhile, New York has issued regulations for the new adult use cannabis program and is accepting retail license applications for the first batch reserved for applicants who prior cannabis-related convictions and an immediate family members with conviction. My Oh my God. This is huge. You guys, this means literally that New York family members can literally put in requests prior cannabis related convictions or an immediate family member with conviction. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of New York. Thank you, New York. Thank you. I've been fighting for this forever. Emerging markets, medical legalization in Mississippi. At the beginning of the year, Mississippi legalization, medical cannabis for legalized medical cannabis for the second time. Mississippi residents overwhelmingly voted in favor of legalization ballot in 2020, but it was overturned months later by the state Supreme Court. You have no right to do that to us. This time, the new law took effect immediately after the governor signed it. The state has since issued medical dispensary licenses, and sales will likely begin in the coming months. Medical cannabis can be purchased by patients with qualifying conditions and registered patient identification cards. Stay on retail license lifted in. Oh my gosh, did they really close them down? Poor thing. Oh, I've experienced that. So what this is talking about is stay on retail licenses lifted on Illinois. In Illinois, a judge lifted a stay on 100. Oh, it makes me mad. Oh, that makes me mad. Okay, 185 retail licenses and more than 60 craft grower licenses. Since then, the state held a series of corrective lotteries awarded to 180 conditional retail licenses to qualify. Let me explain to you guys what this is about. All right. So when California had the same problems where like certain amounts of the lottery allowed certain counties, certain areas to have so many collectives. Like there was only so much. They'd give you like there's like 10 spots and it was literally a lottery. Like you literally had to win your spot. Even if you had the funds, you had a great business, you were, you know, medically oriented, whatever the heck you were focused on, you had to be able to get a license. Now in Louisiana, from what I understand, it's only 9. We're probably going to get to that in a minute, but this is meaning that there was a stay, meaning that they couldn't operate. They were literally on hold. So that means 185 retail licenses and 60 growers were not allowed to do their job. That makes me mad. I'm so glad this is working out for them. First consumption lounges open in Michigan. Oh, I'm so proud to see this. Cannabis consumption lounges in Hazel Park and Calasac, Calaxa, I don't know how to pronounce that. Michigan received a license and opened this year. Consumption lounges provide a location option to legally consume cannabis, especially important for those prohibited from consuming cannabis inside their residencies. This exists in Colorado, folks. This is why I'm saying we need to do something about it. Want to know more about the consumption lounges? Check it out there. All right. Federal. The MORE Act passed on the House for the second time. The U.S. House Representatives passed a marijuana opportunity reinvestment and expungement bill MORE for the second time in April. MORE, M-O-R-E, is a federal cannabis descheduling and decriminalization bill that includes several important criminal justice reform provisions, such as automatic expungement for federal cannabis convictions. This is amazing. While MORE faces an uphill battle in the state. It's the first, wait, where was this at? This is all over, right? Federal, for the cannabis discrimination bill passed in Chamber of Congress since the Nixon administration. For more, pun intended. Oh, that's good stuff. Okay, say what? High-ranking elected officials celebrating the holidays. This year, high-ranking elected officials wish the constituents of the Happy 420 constituents of Happy 420 or use the cannabis holiday as an opportunity to highlight the injustices of cannabis prohibition. Oh, so that's this year. Okay. Or did they? No, that's that. Okay. There were tweets from Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, Congressman Ted Lunar, New Mexico Governor Michelle, I can't pronounce all your names, people, Congresswoman Barbara Lee, and many more. Politicians openly embracing and in some cases even bragging about the cannabis industry in their states. It's certainly a welcome departure of the days of reefer madness and treating cannabis like a forbidden topic of discussion. Man, isn't that true? I think I killed my voice today, guys. I'm screaming in pain. All right, so let's get to the last little bit and then I'm gonna head out because I've taken all your time and I appreciate you guys listening. So we're just gonna get a visual up here and let's do this. Let's pull this up. So this is absolutely currently where we stand. Let's go through this. Just take a good gander here. These are all black are legal. Is that what that means? Fully legal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. I think it's 19, yeah. Oh, 20 because of Alaska. All right, so then we've got, this is a status of medicinal, yes. We've got medicinal, decriminalized. Oklahoma, I thought it was legal. It's not. That's interesting. So it's not recreational. I was wrong. Mississippi. See, this is just huge, guys. You see what's happening right here? We got Georgia working their problems and Texas working their problems. We need to see, okay, CBD oil only is allowed in Texas. CBD oil only is allowed in Georgia. If we could get these two states to go by fully illegal in South Carolina, these two states are in denial. I'm just saying that. And then we've got Tennessee, CBD oil only. Decriminalized, no. Kentucky, no. Oil. Well, that's because it's federal. They have to do it. I'm sure they wouldn't if they could. All right, let's go over here. Why is this a darker color? So we've got, it's mixed. So it means it's in the process, okay? Mixed. I want to go up to Montana. Fully illegal, medicinal, yes. Decriminalized, yes. So what I understand about Montana, which we will look into later, I have a friend who lives in Montana, and I'm almost positive that she's only allowed to grow. I don't think she's allowed to purchase. I don't think there's actually any place set up for her to go. And I think Billings, Montana was where she said way back when that they wanted to put shops in, but they haven't. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. I'm not 100% sure on that because it's saying right here, oh, it is fully legal. Decriminalized. What am I saying then? Oh, my bad. I read that wrong. But yeah, so that's how she does it. She grows her own. That's exactly the point then. Okay. So wow. Like if we're looking at this, I'd like it all to be black. So why medicinal no? Illegal. Decriminalized. This is through I-70. I-70 runs like it cuts off, but when I go to New Orleans, that's pretty much what I do. I go through this section right up here, okay? Now, if we've got this state right here that's so fixated on meth, pills, cocaine, transporting, and Kansas works hand in hand with Mexico and all the other problems there, okay? They have always been the Bible Belt, and boy, are they. And when I say that this just doesn't make sense, it just doesn't make sense. Also, Wyoming, you're bordering us. You got nothing. You got no medicinal, you got no criminalization. So what are you focused on? Just taking people's money? Idaho, same thing. Now, this is the ring of fire. It used to be this state. Medicinal, yes. Criminalization, no. That's ridiculous. So what, 50% of the country is going to be legal at some point and you guys are going to stay out here being stupid? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Okay. So, I mean, I do feel, I got to say, Texas being at least a little open-minded here is good. But I think Austin over here is going to end up being this. I think Austin might be over here, actually. They're going to be the area that's going to push it the most because of so many California people who have relocated to that state. Vermont. Let's see, what is New Hampshire mixed? It's decriminal. They're probably going to be, New Hampshire, come on. You're going to make it legal. Look at you. Look at you over there. You're covered. Are you trying to be the ring of fire? Come on now. All right, let's look around here. So Virginia is fully legal. Yep. North Carolina, fully illegal. Decriminalized, yes, but medicinal, no. Why does that exist? That's freaking weird. So you made it decriminalized, but it's not medically appropriate. I don't understand that. North Carolina and Nebraska, I'm calling you bitches out. All right, we've got, wow, there's some extra to that. Minnesota, probably because the double stars here have to be because they have restaurant use too, like in public settings. It's very interesting. Where do I want to move? Right here. Right to Oregon. So I just think that this is quite important for us to keep an eye. I'm going to actually save this little thing here. Keep an eye on everything. And as things continue to progress in regards to legalization and recreational access, it's very important. Few state laws. So yeah, I will include all of this into the bio in case you're interested. Let's go look at Louisiana real quick. I want to see what they're saying. Few state laws. Let me pull this up. I just find that extremely disheartening, like, come on guys, what are you doing? Get with it. You got to vote it in, people. If you want your state to stop their small-minded thinking, you got to vote it in. All right, so I will include this below because I have a lot of Louisiana listeners. So make solid progress on cannabis reform in 2022. On June 6, 2022, the Louisiana legislature adjourned its regular session following several victorious moves cannabis policy reform forward in the Pelican State. In total, more than 20 cannabis-related bills were heard in the legislature. So I'm going to leave this here, and we will actually go over this in the next one. If you guys want to read ahead, please go to the links that I'll provide in the bio. But I do think that there's a lot more to talk about when it comes to decriminalizing in states that don't have that option. And, let's get the South legal, guys. Let's get the South legal. It's enough. Enough people need to be taken out of the jail systems, their records cleaned up, and life go on. This isn't fair to people who use it medicinally. It isn't fair to people who are surviving solely with cannabis and are living in fear. It's just a fact. So I even think Florida is kind of ridiculous because I did not know they didn't have grow laws, but they don't. And a big shout out to Breaking Feathers for correcting me in some of that. And it's just a catch-22. When you're wanting to get help, you end up having to give away your rights as a Florida resident. You can't own a gun, things like that. And I don't know many people walking around smoking a blunt, shooting people. I just don't know that. So the way I look at this is ultimately reform needs to happen in all 50 states because unfortunately we are dealing with all United States because we were dealing with fentanyl problems, meth problems, pill problems, all the problems. And cannabis just isn't a problem. It's a solution a lot of the time. Anyway, guys, I appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for joining me. All your questions, all your awesomeness. Let me go through these real quick and see what you heard in Chicago. Police departments told officers. No tickets for pot consumption on porches in yards. Not that I'm in Illinois even necessarily. No, it's terrible. They did state no tax. Oh my gosh. That's a shame. I will definitely check that out. Thank you for sharing that. Let me see if I don't think it's going to let me pull it open though. Thank you very much though for stopping by. I appreciate all your comments today. So yeah, guys, definitely check out the Green Joint. Check out some of the links that I will provide at the end of this, and I will hopefully be on tomorrow. If not tomorrow, then maybe later today. I'll be on. I'm tired. Have a good day, everybody. I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.